Hey everyone, Shaber 1000 here. I know the lighting's not that great. You're in the back of the Nissan. We're going to pull the seat out, and underneath the seat is where you get your gas gauge and your sending unit for the fuel gauge. Or your fuel pump and your fuel gauge sending unit will be underneath the seat. Now, when I filled it clear up, it went between 1/4 and 1/2. So there is a problem with the sending unit. So we're going to pull it out and see if maybe it's got a hole in the float or whatever. I'll show you all that later. But we're going to pull it out and see if that's the issue or if I got to get a new sending unit. If I get a new sending unit, they're like 20 bucks. I'll order one. So let's hit the intro and let's pull this seat out and let's get underneath this seat and I'll show you what we got to do. Okay, now underneath the seat, or right in front of the seat, there's a couple little tabs here. I'll try to show you. Maybe that's even a better point of view for you. I don't know. We'll see. There's a tab here and a tab here. You pull these tabs out and it will unlatch your seat. Pull that seat out. Alright. Now, in here, you move this flap up, and you got 4 bolts here. Underneath this pan, there'll be some more bolts. Okay, so I'm gonna go get my impact driver so it'll be a little bit quicker for us. And then we'll pull this cover off. I'll show you what's underneath the cover. Okay, we're back. I haven't charged this battery in a long time, so hope it's got enough juice. That's got 2 out of 3 bars. It should be okay. There's only one way this fits right. There's an arrow here pointing to the front, so that can't get messed up. There's that. Now underneath here, there's 3 more 10mm. And these are different from the ones you took out at the top. So now underneath here, let's move this out of the way. There's 2 plugs. You just push the clip down, or there's a tab. You just push the tab down and it will release them. They're a little bit finicky, but push them down, they'll come out. Let me see. Screw that. I have had these unplugged already because I wanted to make sure the fuel pump was working. There's that. Now we got this out of our way. Down in here, I'm gonna have to blow this out. I don't know, but from the looks of it, it looks like an 8mm. Let me go get the right size for this. They don't feel like they're all the way in, but I feel like they're sticking out a little bit. But we got to unhook these fuel lines. You just push them in there and they'll come out. But let me go get the right size socket for that. so we can, because this has to come out here. There's a ring around here. Let me go get that. Okay, so your fuel lines, you just push it up in towards the, there's an arrow there. Push it up towards the fitting. Squeeze your two tabs together, and then these will pull right out. Do that to both of them. You can mark them if you want, but I know where they go, so I'm not going to have to worry about it. Okay, so now these are 8mm. Let me just see if they'll tighten. Nope, so that must be the way they are. They're double washered. That's why they felt like they were sticking out kind of far. So let me go ahead and get these taken out. They're very short and fine threads, so when you put them back in, make sure you got them right. Because they'll be real easy to strip, and then you'll have a leak there and you'll be smelling fuel all the time. These are those latches that hold the seat down, because you can take these bottom seats out, and these seats, the backs will lay down flat, and you'll have kind of like a truck back here. And one more. So we got 6 of them. So this is a 2000 Nissan Xterra, but a lot of these are pretty much the same. So let's take our ring off right there. I've got a rag here. I don't want any of that going down inside. Let's lift this up. Now it's only going to come up so far. Now it'll give you room, just barely. You have to unclip this wire, which again, it's just a tab you push in and you pull down. There's not much room there. Okay, so let me get these unhooked. They're kind of a pain, but the same way as before, you push them clips in. Same way you unhook these. And they'll unhook. Again, you can mark them if you want. There's one. This one looks a little different for some reason. Hopefully I can just fix this. Could be bent if someone's been in here before. Sometimes they'll get bent and give you a wrong reading. So let me get that one unhooked and get this plug unhooked, and I'll be back with you. Alright, so here's the unit. You just got to kind of finagle it out of there. This line here was around here. It was holding this down, I think. So what that does is this floats up like you're on empty, and when you put fuel in, this will raise up and change where your fuel gauge is at. So this goes in here, something like this, or up through here. I may have to look at a schematic, but this was around here like this. So it was actually, this was up here and was actually on top of this, so this couldn't raise up. So this one went here like that, and it was around like that, so it couldn't raise up. It was holding it down like that, and it has to go like this. So that's, I think that's what the problem was. So let me make sure how this goes in here. Let me study it for a minute, and then I think it goes, I think this goes in here like this. This is a return line. So let me make sure how that goes and get that right, and then we'll check it. I think it's going to work fine. So yeah, I think it's going to work okay, because it did start raising up, so when I put fuel in it. But I think that's what the problem was. This was over top of that like that, see, and it couldn't really raise it up. So all right, yeah, let me make sure I get that on there right so it's out of the way, and I'll be back with you. Okay guys, so that line does not hook onto here. It hooks onto the fuel pump. In order to get, I just blinded myself with this light. In order to get the fuel pump out, you got to make a hook, the piece of wire, just make a hook with a strong piece of wire. You can use a coat hanger or whatever. So I got to pull this out. It actually hooks into the fuel pump. In order to do that, I'll show you once you get it out. You have to hook this onto a piece of plastic, and it lifts this up. Then you can pull your fuel pump out like that. What you do is you got to hook this under here to release that. Now you can stick your hand in there if you want, but I wanted to show you the right way. Now this line, I'm going to have to take it back off of here, but this line, it actually clips down into that side of that like this. There. Now I gotta put this back down in. This wire's got to come up out. And then I got to put this back down in there, which I'm going to have to get my hands in there. There's just no other way of doing it. And then clip this back on to where it came out of. Like that. Now let me wipe my hands off and we'll hook all this other stuff back up. Okay guys, so I got that back in there. I started testing it and that started coming up, so I stopped it Let's see if it'll keep on moving. And it is. Alright, fuel gauge is working. Cool. Alright, now let's go put it back together back there. Okay guys, so we're going to put this back in here. There's an arrow that goes towards the front. Goes like that. So I did have that one fuel line break. I'll show it to you here in a minute, explain to you what I did. I'm just going to go ahead and get a new sending unit because this piece broke off of it. So that part's for the fuel pump itself. But I'll show you what broke. And I'm just going to put a new pump. Hate to do it because there's nothing wrong with the pump. Yeah, I'll just put a new pump and new sending unit in it. Not a problem. I just put a regular fuel hose onto where the where that plastic one went. I don't know why, you know, they do stupid stuff like that. Why you gotta change so much stuff, man. You know, when something's not broke, you know, don't fix it. You know, it doesn't make sense. Let's change this, let's change that. And it just makes it harder on everybody else. It looks good on a computer and a piece of paper or whatever, but I'd like to see one engineer come and do this. I bet he couldn't. They don't think things through. Alright, now this is going to get flipped back up here. That's my flashlight. This thing's cool. Alright, let's put... Still haven't had time to clean it out yet, but let's put our seat back in here. Oops, sorry guys. We probably should see if it'll start. There it is. Alright, now I'm gonna put you on auto. Now let's see if it'll start. Yeah, so it was that one return fuel line that was holding up the, or holding down the was holding down the sending unit. Man, this thing starts so good, it runs so good. Cool. Alright, I'll be back with you in a second. Okay guys, so this is what broke here. Oh. This piece broke off of here. It goes on the fuel pump. And this end goes up to the sending unit. So I just bought me a hose and some clamps and redid that just like they did the return line, because the return line, that wasn't original. It would have one like this too. So I'm just going to put new stuff in it. I mean, it's fine. It'd probably last forever, but you know, I mean, as cheap as I can get this stuff, you know, for around 50 bucks, I can get everything I need. And I'll just put it new in just in case, because that one piece, I noticed it was loose. Where did I put it? I noticed it was loose before, and you can see how dirty that is. So it's been broke for a while. Probably the last person that was in there broke it. See how dirty that is there? So I've just been trying real gently to hold it. Well, it snapped off today. So, and that's for the fuel pump. So, you know, I just ran some wires up through, and I don't think I recorded it. I think I went to hit record, but I think I accidentally hit record twice, which meant I started recording, stopped. So anyway, guys, so that's that. Got that done, and I soaked some, brought out some hot water, and what I did was, for this to go over where it had to go, where this went, I just dipped it in some hot water and slid it over. So, and it worked fine. So, alright guys, I think it's going to work alright. I'll let you know in future video. But yeah, that's how you do it. When you go to put that back in there, it's a pain. You gotta reach your hand down in there, and I couldn't find my hose to drain the gas out, and it was supposed to rain. It actually started sprinkling. So if you're going to do this, just make sure you got, if you can, get the gas out of it. If not, you're going to get your hands down in there. There's no way around it. They tell you you had to hook onto that with a wire and pull it up out, but you got to stick your hand down in there to put it back in and latch it, right? So it doesn't make sense. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Shea Bear, the Myth, the Man, the Legend. I'm gone for now. We'll see you guys. That looks dark. We'll see you guys in the next one. And New Year's coming up, so everyone stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye everyone, take care.